What's up, guys? It's N Square Sports coming back with another video. It's been about a month, I know, but we're back today. We're going to be talking about the NFL MVP for 2020. So, Nick, give me your rundown and who is your MVP so far?
So I think there's a couple of candidates that I think that are out there. Honestly, it's between two, but there's a lot of cases honestly to be made between a lot of people. The main front runners in my opinion are Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Um, I think those two are the clear um, cuts that have pretty good arguments. Depending on how the rest of the season, the arguments could go for Tom Brady, though I disagree with Tom Brady at this point. Aaron Rodgers is up there as well. Um, and then you have two sort of like behind, but people are still making the strong case for them, and that's Big Ben and Josh Allen. Um, I say it's between those five. I really only think it's going to go between Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, though I do believe Aaron Rodgers has a good case as well. Um, so I don't know honestly where I stand between these guys. I see Russell Wilson has the worst defense. Oh my gosh, it is so bad, which makes me usually I'm a fan of most valuable player, not the guy with the best stats. And Russell Wilson's stats are pretty good. His interceptions are pretty high, which is pretty much the only deterring factor. But he's carrying that team. He is that team, and he's doing it without a defense where Aaron Rodgers has somewhat of a defense, yet he is playing insane with 33 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, 3,100 passing yards. He's having a great year. And then we look on Patrick Mahomes, and he has about 31 TDs and 2 interceptions, which is quite incredible. But I'd argue those two guys have significantly better teams around them. And my argument always has been who's the most valuable to that team. And personally, I think that Russell Wilson is the most valuable to that team. Now, if the interception ratio keeps going up, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. But you can't dismiss Russell Wilson and how good he's doing. I guess that's my biggest argument. I could see if Josh Allen comes in and starts playing lights out, I could honestly see him having a case because he has about 31 total touchdowns, as rushing is included in that. 31, 32, and his team is still doing incredibly well. The case for Big Ben is his team is undefeated still. It would take a lot as well, but his team's undefeated. Tom Brady was in there, but he has no case, and now, in my opinion, as interceptions, he's not playing as well, and his team is actually insanely talented all around him. So yeah, that would be my case for them. I personally would take Russell Wilson because I think he deserves it. But if they gave it to Patrick Mahomes, I wouldn't have an issue. So
Yeah, you kind of laid out every stat there. I'm trying to look up other stats right now. One guy who it's not going to happen just because quarterbacks always get MVP, but Derrick Henry, if it was a running back, like if a running back could win it, I think Derrick Henry would make a pretty good case right now. Because as of right now, this is, 11 games into the season for most teams. He already has almost 1,300 yards on the ground, so and almost 5 yards per carry. So like he might end up this season getting around 1,600 yards, possibly maybe more. So I mean, Derrick Henry is a guy. If running backs could get the award, which it won't happen, but if they could, Derrick Henry kind of is what drives that Titans. I mean, you saw it this last weekend. Derrick Henry basically won the game for the Titans over the Colts, and it was a big game. So
that's very true.
That was a guy that I think like it won't happen, but I would definitely think about voting for him if running backs could get the award. But with what all you said, I hate doing this, but I kind of have to agree that Russell Wilson is still kind of the clear-cut MVP to me, just because of what he means to that team. Like he literally, his team would be pretty bad, I think, if it was an average quarter. Like the running game has been so inconsistent. I mean, he has no idea whether it's going to be Chris Carson or DJ Dallas as his running back. Like you just don't know week to week. That's the biggest thing. I mean, he does have Metcalf and Lockett now. He's
But
had
that's
a
about
lot,
it.
but that other than those two guys, that's about it. So I hate agreeing with you, but to me, Russell Wilson is the guy. I really want to make a case for Big Ben, but his stats aren't there, and the league looks at stats when they try to get an MVP. So even though Big Ben's undefeated and could stay undefeated for a couple more weeks probably, or maybe even go 16-0, who knows? The league won't give him MVP because of his stats.
I think it's also their defense is a big part of their winning.
Yeah,
it's
true.
not Big Ben. It's their defense.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Because I feel like honestly, that's the guy that could still win it. Because he's 33 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
I know. Yeah.
That's about what Patrick Mahomes is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say his team is worse than the Chiefs, but better than the Seahawks. But then again, he hasn't had any good wins. They lost to the Colts.
They lost to the Bucs, I think.
It was the Bucs. They got dismantled by the Bucs.
Yeah. So.
And the Vikings as well, which is.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard. It's hard for me because I love Aaron Rodgers, and it'd be so cool to see him win again. But to me, his team is worse than Patrick Mahomes. And my thing about Patrick Mahomes, kind of like in the NBA, when you say, "Oh, Steph Curry should win MVP," or even the team with KD, it's like I don't know because their team's so good already that you can't really give an MVP to Steph Curry when you have KD on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with Patrick Mahomes. When he has Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and a bunch of good players and just an overall amazing offense, it's kind of hard to give it to a guy like that because not every quarterback, but a lot of quarterbacks could do pretty good with that offense. I feel like because Tyreek Hill. I mean, yesterday Tyreek Hill was ridiculous. So that's my argument against Patrick Mahomes for MVP. For Aaron Rodgers, he has less weapons. I mean, Devontae Adams might be the best receiver in the league, so he has him. And Aaron Jones is a really good running back. But he has a little less talent on defense and not as many weapons on offense. So he definitely, I would say Aaron Rodgers is number 2 right now. But I think Russell Wilson the MVP award, if you take that player away, their team would be terrible, the Seahawks at least. And I think that's why Russell Wilson deserves it because they're going to be in the playoffs when if you had a regular quarterback on that team, they would not be in the playoffs at all.
I think that argument, goes pretty well. And that's how I usually base my argument. I actually do like the Derrick Henry point, to be honest, because Derrick Henry is that team. And he's playing well. I think, if he manages to sustain, he usually starts the season off incredibly slow. In 2018 and 2019 he did. And it ended the season off with insane numbers. If he manages to do that, which he has been picking it up with 3 straight 100-yard games, and he's had 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. If he sustains this over the next couple of weeks, does Derrick Henry get thrown into the conversation at all? Because, the Titans are, I believe, 8-3.
Yeah, they just beat the Colts to take over AFC South, so I don't know.
They beat the Ravens as well. I could see thrown into the conversation. I would love to see a running back get votes. I think that would be cool.
But when you have Christian McCaffrey, his unreal 1,000-yard receiving, 1,000-yard rushing season, and he didn't get really thrown in.
They weren't winning.
I know, but still, the stats alone, that should at least be talked about. Maybe not put in, but at least talked about. But that's true. In Derrick Henry's case, he is the reason that team is 8-3. It's not Tannehill. AJ Brown's really good too, but Derrick Henry's the one winning those games. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. If I was betting, I honestly would bet on Patrick Mahomes. I think that's where he's going to end up winning it. Just because I believe that's how the voters are, but it's really close between so many different people. It is. So I say that's all for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you think on who's going to get MVP. It's a tight race, probably the tightest we've seen in years. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all later.